All right, everybody, welcome. It's late. I'm out. Yeah, I'm out of bed too. My old ass should be in bed right now. Absolutely. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on? Okay, so we have several things to talk about. Arkansas did obviously just get a big commitment tonight. According to everybody on planet Earth, Johnell Davis, as expected, is a Razorback. He is committed at the moment. He is committed. I've got someone telling me that they took his commitment down off 247. I don't know if that's true, and I was just trying to pull this up. And I do not see his I don't see his name on there. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to clue me in on that. He was committed. It was all over Twitter. Everybody and their mom was reporting it. So now we're getting kind of conflicting reports, or at least that he's not added to the 247. Let's assume, this feels like a done deal. Maybe this is just some kind of technicality, or maybe a family member just didn't want it to leak and they're upset. I don't know. You know how this sort of stuff works. Sometimes family gets involved. Sometimes the player or whatever, people from his camp kind of flap their gums a little too soon. Let's just assume that Johnell Davis is committed. And there's also been, I did see the tweet from John Goodman. I don't know if this is a screenshot, not the actual John Goodman. It's a screenshot. I have it right here on my phone. So it's a screenshot. I can't pull it up, but it says, according to John Goodman, FAU transfer Johnell Davis visited Arkansas this past weekend and is expected to sign with John Calipari and the Razorbacks. Source told the Field of 68. He has declared for the NBA draft and his preference to go pro, but Arkansas offered him a lucrative NIL deal north of $1 million per source. So I'm going to try and look that up and see if that's not from a fake account, because there's so many of them and everyone gets burned. I wish people would. I wish I was just sent the actual link to the tweet and not. So, anyways, for the moment, we're just going to go along with it as though he did commit. Maybe that was a fake account. I don't know. But On3 reported this an hour ago that he had committed. I don't know if that's necessarily north of $1 million. I don't know about that. Yeah, Field of 68 reported that he has. So, yeah, no, there it is. There it is. Yeah, Field of 68 did report this. I found it. FAU transfer Johnell Davis is expected to sign. He has declared for the NBA draft and his preference to go pro, but Arkansas offered him a lucrative NIL deal north of $1 million. And that is from the Field of 68, so you never know. They've got 102,000 followers. I don't know how they, of all people, got that information. Maybe they're right. As of an hour ago, they did have 247 did have Johnell Davis from FAU to Arkansas. So we're just going to go with it. I don't know why he would have been pulled. I don't know what that's all about. You guys, we'll try to stay on top of it. We'll stay informed on all that. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe if you're new. I don't typically go live this late. Everyone knows I'm 40, man, and I've got kids. My God, I'm going to be hurting tomorrow morning. I'll just tell you that, because I know this thing's going to go at least until after 11 o'clock. I do appreciate you guys for being here, though. Let's go, Hogs. This is our time to shine now, baby. It says grind to shine TV. What's going on? Welcome. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you're new here, I'm seeing a couple faces I've either not seen in a while or I've never seen before. Johnny Cakes, Cope with Pope. Here we go. Bunch of stream hoppers in here, including me, says Tony Hunt. Well, I appreciate you for being in here. Like I said, there was a time when I was the only gig in town. There was a time when this was the only show on YouTube that did reactions like this, either post-game shows or commitment announcements or signing announcements. There was a time when I was the only show in town on YouTube doing it live. But it's, of course it's going to expand, and that's a good thing. That means more and more people are coming to YouTube. And that's great. That means more audience, and it's awesome, actually. I'm glad that that's happening. That's a good sign that you're getting more and more channels. There's some good content out there. There's some really good content out there. Next football coach has to be a great marketer and fundraiser. Well, Spawn, the fundraising, I mean, it's nice when you got a guy like Musselman and Coach Cal who will put their name out there, but where it really comes from, and we could throw trash all we want at Jeff Long, but that man could raise money. It comes down to the AD. It comes down to the AD to get on top of NIL. It comes down to the athletic director when it comes to raising money. The coach is a part of it, right? But the AD is the CEO. Hell, he's the CFO. It's all on Hunter's shoulders for the most part, and his team that he has around him. I'm a diehard Razorback fan. Well, that is awesome, Chris. I appreciate you being here. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I did consider making this a call-in, but my God, this thing would go till midnight, and I just can't do that. I can't do it. What up, Ty? What is Johnell's defensive rating? Now, I don't know about his defense. I just know that he grades out really well as a combo guard. 6'4", 200 pounds. What was it, 18 points? God, 18 points. Was it 4 rebounds, 3 assists a game? I mean, he grades out either like a 2 that could play the 1 or just like a straight-up scoring point guard, like a guy that can actually score from the 1 spot. So yeah, I don't know about his defense, to be honest. I've not heard anything bad. I'll say that, but I think from an offensive standpoint, this dude is he's going to help you out a lot. The flow of the offense at FAU went through him. There's a reason why he's regarded as one of the top transfers in the portal, and he is a Razorback. That is great. 41% from 3, says Matty Ice. Boss Hog Ty, did you feel a little gust of wind? It was the collective butt puckering of BBN. Oh, you got to cope with Pope. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. You got to cope with Pope, baby. Him calling Kentucky in the calling the Wildcats in the BYU arena. I guess that wasn't him. It wasn't him shortly after taking the job, I guess, is what Kentucky fans are telling me. That was actually, he was just rooting them on. I don't know. Why root any other school on? You should be 100% behind the program you're at, and that includes BYU. Why would you? I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're a Kentucky fan, you love it. But if you're BYU, you're like, what is going on right now? Razorback Rock says we're going to get plenty of blocks and steals with this group. My God, this group is, you guys. I mean, this is insane. This is crazy. Johnell Davis, who's now you've got that experience, right? We're talking about needing someone to help Boogie out. Do you play Johnell and Boogie as the 1 and the 2, or is Boogie and Johnell gonna? Are they going to rotate? How does that work out? Because Johnell's older, and he's a proven point guard. We've seen a little bit of what can happen at FAU when he was there. To go along with Adu, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, I mean, this is insane. And then, of course, Big Z's, Vonnemeer. Are you kidding me? Like that, these six guys already give you the top half, no matter what the other SEC rosters look like. This is already a top half roster. This is already a top 5, maybe higher roster, depending on who you talk to. This is insane. And to think they still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots? Are you serious? I mean, they're like top 5 in I think both the transfer ranking and high school. I might have that wrong. Don't quote me on that. This is insane. Now, I also still believe, this shouldn't we should be at that point where, yeah, no, this is expected. Of course. It's Coach Cal and it's Arkansas. It's a combination made in heaven for Arkansas fans. It's a combination that's going to be a problem for the rest of the SEC. Remember, the big stick about him is, and I know lately things weren't so great within the SEC for Cal, but we know for the most part he's done extremely well prior to at least 2020 in the SEC. But, the big hang-up on him is how well will he do in the portal and with all the roster turnover, and we talked about this yesterday. He's dealt with roster turnover before. He's dealt with it. He deals with it all the time. The difference is he's typically replacing lottery picks with, lottery pick freshmen with other lottery picks, with other big-time draft picks. Where'd my screen go? I have no snare in my headphones. Well, I just lost my roster sheet. Where'd it go? There we go. There it is. So, these 6 players, that threw me through a loop there. These 6 players, this is good enough to be one of the top rosters already in the SEC. It's insane. I don't know what they do with these final 7 spots. I know there's, it's going to be an ongoing, changing, evolving process, but I absolutely love it. I love what they're doing. I love that this is again, kind of going back to what I was saying a second ago, this shouldn't really shock us. And we do kind of need to act like we've been there, but it's starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, we've never been this far. Like, this is about to be a unanimous, it could be the number 1 or top 3 transfer class with a top 2 or number 1 recruiting class. Now, we know, had some exciting years out of both the portal and high school with multiple McDonald's All-Americans on the same roster in the same class. So, again, there is a point with 3 straight Sweet 16s, back-to-back Elite 8s, 1 year removed, right? Last year was obviously atrocious. It still boggles the mind how the hell they were as bad as they were. But all things considered, we should expect this. But, man, it's fun. And it's so damn fun. I don't blame anybody for getting a little excited, all right? Act like you've been there or act like you belong here. Maybe that's what we should be saying. You belong here because I think Arkansas does. And you know what, too? This kind of reminds me, even though Muss didn't win a natty, even though Muss didn't win a national championship, this feels like what we should have done from Nolan to the next guy. You feel like this is what we were supposed to get, understand, Heath. You had one successful coach. You're supposed to transition, especially when you're on the verge of being a blue blood, you're supposed to transition into the next guy being the guy that takes you even further or keeps you about the same, up until about 96, right? We're not real thrilled with everything that happened after, but great players. He added some great players on the rosters in those years, some NBA, but didn't really work out so well in March for Nolan up until he was eventually terminated. But this is what you feel like should have happened. This should have been the transition. Now, Muss didn't win a national championship, but he took you back to an era that we haven't experienced. So maybe Muss is the Eddie Sutton in Cal, although it's different because Nolan, where was he coming from? Who was he? We didn't know. It's different in that way, but in terms of success and building upon success, maybe Cal will be the next Nolan. There'll never be another Nolan. Build that man's statue. I've been saying that for the last 4 years on this very show. I got to grab a drink. Hang on. Hang on, baby. We're going to keep it going. I'm just, you get parched doing this. It's when you flap your gums. I won't drink it all, but I got to get a swig of my Pepsi Zero. The superior soda that's on the market, Pepsi Zero. Come be a sponsor, Pepsi. Once it hits the lips. So good. So, again, Zvonimir, Adu, Knox, Davis, Boogie Flan, Billy Richmond. That's your current roster. We'll see assuming this stuff about Johnell is just nonsense. I don't know. Is he on the Rivals page? I don't see him on 247. I mean, I'm refreshing this, and right now I'm seeing Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, and Boogie Flan with Adu and Zvonimir. And did they add him? No, they still haven't added him. I don't know what that's all about. But according to that, they're the number 3 overall class, and the composite rank of number 6, and then the transfer is number 20. Obviously, that transfer number is going to come up. I mean, this is good enough. This is going to be a very, very strong roster for Arkansas. Again, if you guys are new here, if anyone's just now hopping in, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hey, shout out to our sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They operate out of Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas. They offer same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Check out their link provided for you down below, or give them a call at 501-244-3667. That's Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. And how about our latest addition to sponsors, Insurance Max? Business, personal, life and health insurance. They got your back, baby. All 4 corners of the state of our glorious, beautiful, natural state that is Arkansas. Again, that is Insurance Max. Give Wes a call. See what he can do for you. Links are provided for you down below. I have seen 247, when you get a commitment within the hour, add people. So I don't know if that's what some people are claiming, that, well, he just committed. No, they absolutely, I've seen them add people within, I'm almost positive within 20 or 30 minutes, if not quicker. John Zapecki, welcome, John. You look like a new name. Make sure you subscribe, good sir. Sometimes it's good to get a fresh start. You're not wrong. Ty, on 247, I'm seeing us as the 4th transfer class and 3rd overall. Let me refresh. I mean, I'm looking at 247, baby. I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing overall rank 3 and transfer rank 20, and I do not see any new additions outside of Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, Boogie Flan, Jonas Adu, and Savannah. It's the only names I'm seeing, so I don't know. Maybe am I looking at a wrong page? Do I need to go pull up? Does Rivals have him? I mean, listen, I think we all agree he's here. He's done. He's a Razorback. I think it's kind of a, what does it really matter at this point? But now I am kind of curious. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. I don't look at Rivals like really at all. Do they not have a transfer? Do they not have a transfer option? Or transfer? I hate to say it. Listen, Mason Choate's a good dude. Talk to him all the time. They do good work over at Hogbeat. I just don't ever look at Rivals. I don't know why. I just don't. Like anymore, it's 247, or I'm looking at On3. And I don't even look at On3 that much. It's really just 247. Again, I like Trey Biddy, Danny West. Those guys, they're awesome, right? Like them a lot. And I like Mason and those guys at Rivals. I just don't look at Rivals. Now, I do read their stuff. I mean, like what I'm able to read, I do read it because I think they do good work. But I just don't look at their rankings, All right, till we get that situated. Peanut says he has to get admitted. He had a transcript issue, so there is that. There's always that issue, right? When you're coming from one school to another, there's still the hang-up side of whether or not, what is it, like not qualify, but just being able to get admitted. But I still think the recruiting sites would put him on. I have nothing. I'm not reading your name, but I will read this comment. I have been eating nothing but Tyson nuggets. Only someone needs to pay for the NIL. Someone's got to eat all the nuggies and pay for the NIL, baby. That's what it's all about. Oh man. Y'all, it is 10:45. I appreciate you being here. We got more to talk about. We got a lot more to talk about. We got a little bit more digging to do here. We're going to talk a little more. Rivals doesn't seem to have a transfer option for teams. Yeah, I guess not. Right, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I just Rivals. I never liked their rankings. It's just weird. 247. It's just there in bold letters. They've even got, and I know Rivals like they offer different things for recruits as well on their profiles that are handy. But if you see me post star rankings, whether it's in our portal stuff or the for football. Or basketball. It's always going to be 247 rankings. It just is. And so I guess, again, I do like Mason Choate and those guys at Rivals. I just don't look at their ratings. The media can't believe it. They're still shocked. Let's go Hogs. That's right. Philip says, I'm eating Tyson nuggets right now. Michael Kopeski. NIL is no joke at Arkansas. Peanut is juggling balls. He's juggling balls. That's what this recruiting class is doing. It's juggling balls. Appreciate the retweets and the likes on Twitter. What's up, Tony Harden? I see you. You just followed me. What's going on, Tony? You can follow Tuss Talk. I'm trying to look as we're talking. I'm trying to see if there's any update. I really don't think there's anything to him being taken down off 247. It could just be out of respect. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is a transcript thing or a some other stuff going on. I don't know. At the moment, I'm not reading that anywhere, but that doesn't mean everything. So Arkansas again. What I'm reading is it's the number 3 overall class with the transfer rank at number 20. Now, yeah, I thought it was higher, even with just Adu and Zvonimir. I thought it was a little bit higher. With Boogie Flan, Billy Richmond, Carter Knox, your hard commits, man, guys. I mean, it's just coming together. These 6 players alone, this is crazy, and the fact that they still have all these spots open, they're going to do a lot of damage. We got a long ways to go. Pope is an in-between hire. Sorry, Peanut. Y'all are holding out for Hurley. I don't think Peanut is an actual Kentucky fan. I don't know. I mean, you guys, has he been in other Hog? Has he been in other YouTube channels? I mean, he could still just be a troll. I don't know. Kentucky lords over the SEC. Well, lately that's it's not been Kentucky. I mean, I don't know. At this point, who really cares? I don't care. You can lord over the SEC. I want to win in March. I don't hold much about. I don't care about SEC rank. I really don't. Like, yeah, it's nice. Oh, look, we finished first in the regular season. Great. But we got eliminated in the tournament in the second round. Whatever. I'm just saying as a hypothetical. Obviously, it didn't happen at Arkansas. It did not happen. Definitely didn't happen the last 2 years. I don't care about that. The banners that you talk about, in Kentucky, absolutely, if you want to argue, they're up there. They're blue blood. Yeah, they have more tournament banners, Final Four championship banners. But I'm just talking about for Hog fans. It's Mizzou, right, that hangs the banners for how many times they've been to the NCAA tournament. Who cares? Just making the tournament. If that's true, that's what they do, I certainly hope not. No. I care about what you do in March. And lately, Kentucky hasn't done much. And, yeah, Cal has certainly struggled, but it seems like he's changed quite a bit. I mean, we're already seeing a different approach. Ty, for $1 million, would you eat only Odd Soul pizza and drink only Pepsi Zero for a year? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just because they don't sponsor me anymore doesn't mean, bro, that pizza is great. I love Odd Soul. I'll give them a plug. I love it. I think Odd Soul pizza is really good. Hog Homer, that quarterback was a nice little snag, not going to lie. Well, let's get into really quick. Let's talk a little transfer portal action for Razorbacks, for the Hogs. Interesting. If you guys didn't catch it, so we finally got it figured out yesterday. It was Joe Moore out of Syracuse. He did play 4 years at Richmond, which, by the way, doing a little bit of digging on him, there's a Patreon video that I uploaded this morning. You guys can go catch it. I dive into some stuff a little bit. Did I mention Joe? Did I mention? Yeah. Joe Moore was on today's Patreon video. I'm sorry. I've actually recorded several. I forget which ones I published. I've got like several that are already done that are ready to publish. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I published today. And by the way, Alex Collins' card, if you want a shot at it and you want to be legendary status, you need to get signed up. Yeah, that's the video that I published today. Right there. If you better hurry. If you want to get in on it, you've got I don't know. You're running out of time. You got to sign up to be legendary status for a shot at winning the Alex Collins autographed card. But yeah, Joe Moore, 6'5", 306, was the commit they got yesterday. He graded out at 82.9 pass block last year, but he didn't take a whole bunch of snaps, right? He didn't take a whole bunch last year, but has played, and I probably should have been more specific about this in Discord, has played 2,100 total snaps. The vast majority of those were obviously at Richmond. He only played something like 29 snaps last year for Syracuse. 2,100 total snaps. 95% of those snaps were at right tackle. I don't know if they offered him. I haven't reached out to anyone to find out what they're going to offer him as or what they did offer him as. I thought they were looking for another interior guy, not for another right tackle. He has some experience, but really limited at guard compared to tackle. But to be fair, that was tackle at Richmond, not at Syracuse, and probably not in the SEC, I would imagine. Certainly with that 6'5", 306-pound frame, he's probably more built to be an interior guy. He was a 2-star when he signed with Richmond all the way back in 2018. He transferred to Cuse in 2022. So, yeah, anyways, he committed yesterday. He has a really nice pass blocking grade from a year ago. A ton of snaps at right tackle. Again, it was 2,164 total snaps. 95% of those were at right tackle. And then I think it's Stephen, or it might be Steven, I don't know, Stephen Dix Jr. Grow up, people, all right? I don't know how many. We got people. Just stop. Goodness. He's transferring here from Marshall, 6'1", 237. His PFF grade, 83. His tackle grade, 87.4. This man stands on business. His pass coverage grade, 66. He was formerly a 4-star that signed with Florida State. So there, I gave you, even you guys aren't even Patreon supporters and you're getting this, right? I'm giving it all to you. He had 66 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, and 25 stops. Then, probably the most interesting addition, which is not a huge shock when you think about losing Jacoby Criswell. They go and they get another quarterback. Okay, Jacoby was an upperclassman, and again, I have talked about this before, both with Patreon, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it and I discussed it here. I thought they were going to go after an older, more experienced quarterback. Now, Blake Boda, you understand why he committed and why Arkansas offered him, I guess, when you consider there's a little bit of a connection. He was once committed, Blake Boda was once committed to Bobby Petrino in his brief time as the offensive coordinator at UNLV. Arkansas offered, he visited, and then he's obviously committed. So Blake Boda, 6'4", 200 pounds, only 1 throw last year. It was for 14 yards. Pretty sure he has, it's either 3 or 4 years of eligibility, but I'm a little bit surprised they didn't try and go after an older guy, but it's pretty clear that Petrino, it's his show. He's running it. We know that with Green. I'm sure they had to throw some money at Green to bring him here. I mean, obviously, you know that there are more schools that were interested. I know that for a fact, and I know you guys do as well. It was pretty well publicized that he was a hot commodity in the portal, but it was kind of always expected he would end up being a Razorback following Bobby Petrino here. But I I just thought they would go after someone who would replace Jacoby as an upperclassman. And I'm not saying a guy with just 1 year of eligibility, maybe a junior or at least someone with some experience under his belt, and that's not what you're getting out of Blake Boda. I'm not saying you're not getting a stud here. I don't know his film. He looks okay. He's a left-handed quarterback. He can move. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Ryan Mallett in the way that he just stands in the pocket and doesn't really bounce much, like quarterbacks do. They're kind of on their toes a little bit. They're always ready to run. Excuse me. This isn't wrestling. And he just kind of stands there like a statue and then delivers. So I don't know. Again, nothing against Blake. I'm sure he's talented. I'm sure Bobby sees something in him. Of course he does. Bobby obviously was interested in him when he was at UNLV, but I just kind of thought they might go after someone a little bit older. It would just make sense when you're replacing Jacoby Criswell. So again, I'm just going to say Steven Dix Jr. At linebacker, Blake Boda at quarterback, and Joe Moore at offensive line. No idea. I think they're going to put him in the interior. But all of his experience is at right tackle. So we'll have to wait and see. Scroll on down here. I bet Peanut is a real fan. He had to look up the history. I don't know. Kalen Hitchens, 87. What's funny is you did absolutely none of that. You weren't part of. Oh, okay. You weren't talking to me. I was like, whoa, Kalen. My bad, bro. I didn't mean to get on your bad side. Yeah, y'all are letting a Kentucky fan just. Oh my goodness. And Kopetsky. I'm assuming Kopetsky's telling Peanut to move on. This is the confusing part when you're trying to keep up with chat. I actually do engage with you guys, not just super chats, but everybody. So it gets a little bit confusing. But although if you're trying to make sure I read your message, super chats will absolutely go through. But sometimes you guys, I'm just, I'm looking at like 3 different screens. Ty, if we go 1 or 2 in the SEC, but go out in the first or second round, does it take any of the Cal excitement away? Well, year 1, that's a good question. I don't know, because we're in a different era of college basketball. And with a guy like Coach Cal, with that dude as the guy, as your head coach, with all this excitement that he brings, all the hype, and you get eliminated in the first round, especially with the kind of roster we think this whole team is going to be, you're going to be chock full of just great talent, upper echelon, some first rounders. Yeah, I think you would be disappointed. I really think, and this is going to sound weird, especially because I am from a different time, right, when you had to build a roster. I can remember when Mike Anderson got hired, I remember him talking to the crowd about, we got to give us a couple of years, we got to build the roster. It's just not that way anymore. It's especially with someone who has Coach Cal's name is synonymous with basketball, NBA or college. Like when you think basketball, Coach Cal comes to mind for a lot of people. Obviously his entire background is 99% college. What I'm saying though is when you think basketball, Cal's name makes the short list of whatever the hell it is you're talking about. If you're referencing college basketball and recruiting, the transfer portal, if you're talking about regular season wins, if you're talking about his history with Kentucky or Memphis or wherever else he's been, his name is synonymous with college basketball. To have all this now, to have the NIL, to have the portal, and Coach Cal. And he's changed his philosophy that much so far is obvious in the way he approaches recruiting versus high school and transfer portal. You've got all this excitement with all these big-time names, these guys that are rated so high out of high school or the transfer portal, yeah, you might be a little bummed if he can at least get you to the second round. Now, Kentucky fans will tell you, yeah, well, that's all we got. That's all we got out of him since 2020. He's not, I mean, you can use one hand and not very many fingers on that hand, the amount of tournament wins that he has. And that's a valid point, and Cal has addressed that. He talked about he was 26 years old. I gotta come up with some new Cal material. That one's feeling old, just like the, juggling balls. But that was something that he talked about, that, we're dealing with older players. So that's obviously something he's addressing, and we'll see if he can build that chemistry, because I think it's still going to be a pretty good mix of portal and high school players. It's just so far down the road. Like, yeah, it would be disappointing, but at the same time, when whatever happens, whether or not you lose more guys to the portal or you have guys that declare for the NBA draft, whatever, Cal's still going to kill it in the portal. The guy is a salesman. He is an absolute salesman. I think that's why I'm so good at his voice. I'm not necessarily an extrovert, but I do pretty well in a room. I do pretty well at what I do here in front of a microphone, in front of you guys. I worked in marketing. I worked in sales. And he reminds me of everything you wanted to be as a salesman. He is it. That guy could run an entire marketing department and do the job himself. He's just good, and he's a hell of a basketball coach that can back up what he says. That's what's so appealing about him. However, yes, Kentucky fans are correct when they say, you know what? He's been kind of mid overall since 2020. He's not winning in March. He's got to cure that here, and I think he's got to prove to Razorback fans, I can advance past the second round, and I can win with transfer. Upon changing my approach to the portal and how I recruit, I can win with guys out of the portal in a mix of younger guys. I don't know. I really don't know when the dust settles what this roster is going to look like, whether it's more portal and than expected, or more high school players than expected. I just feel like if there's anyone who could right the ship, who could fix his own mistakes given his history, I don't know that anyone else is better suited for the job, and doing it at a new school. And I think, too, that's also what really helps him out, is he's got to do this at a new school. He's not doing this at Kentucky, just changing his approach. He needed a new change of scenery. He needed a new change of scenery, new energy, and that's what he's getting in Fayetteville. This is the perfect transition hire for Arkansas. I mean, it feels like, in a way, even though we've not seen him even coach a game yet at Arkansas, talking about Coach Cal, in a way, this feels like you got Muss so you could eventually get Cal. Right? I mean, really, let's be honest. It's like, yeah, all right, we got Muss, so we could reach for the stars and grab someone like Cal. Again, Kentucky fans, don't listen to them all. They were shocked when he left. They wanted him to leave on their terms. That's how they wanted him to leave. I don't think there are very many of those fans, and I know they're going to cope, and they're going to cope hard on Twitter. I don't think there's very many of them that wanted to lose him, and it's because of his recruiting acumen. Again, it was if anyone can right the ship and fix it, it was Cal. But I think it's false hope for Kentucky. I don't know that he would have ever fixed it at Kentucky or not. I really don't. That's why I say he needed a new change of scenery. He needed new energy, and Fayetteville needed Cal. They needed Coach Cal. It feels like, again, they hired Muss so they could hire someone of that tier. I mean, this is an S-tier hire. I don't care what he's done in the last few years. I'm sure, it wouldn't shock me if a couple years down the road, assuming I'm not pushing carts for Sam's Club or something, if I am, make sure you bump into me and we could talk about what happened after Cal was hired, or if I'm working behind a register, if I'm working in a tire shop or something a couple years down the road, whatever the hell I'm doing. Yeah, we could sit and talk and have a conversation after the fact, 2 or 3 years later, how Cal worked out and whether or not he was, this worked out in the way that we all hoped that it would. But, man, he fits it perfectly here. And I think he would fit in perfectly anywhere. And that goes to that acumen of being a marketing guy, of being an extrovert, someone who's always comfortable and wants to make you feel comfortable. That's a superpower. I'm telling you, that is a superpower. If you've ever known anybody like that, it's I don't know, man. It's insane. It's kind of crazy. I have known people like that. I've worked for people like that, and those are my favorite bosses to this day. Shout out to Robert Rabelais, my marketing boss at Sam's Club. I haven't talked to him in 10 years, but my favorite boss because he made me feel comfortable. He had that raspy spoken voice, and he was also he was actually from Wisconsin, but he sounded like he was from the Northeast. Ironically, like Coach Cal. But yeah, I mean, he's my favorite boss, right? And he had that. He'd walk into a room and the room would glow, and you felt like, oh man, Rob's here. That's how Cal is, and that's why I think he recruits at such a high level, and why he's had the success that he's had. His assistants, obviously, they're coming back and coaching for him. I miss seeing Danielle. Danielle is one of the best things that happened to this state. Let's not pretend otherwise. I liked her. I liked her a lot, and I was really hoping Muss would stick it out for 8-9 years, maybe a decade, maybe retire here. I was really hoping that. I knew deep down he wouldn't. I mean, we all did. He wasn't going to stay here and retire here. He was going to eventually go out west, and he did. But Danielle was awesome. She has a beautiful smile. Yeah. But we wish them the best. Although a part of me wants to run into Muss in the tournament. There's a part of me that wants to run into him in the tournament. I do, and I don't take back what I said. I do still kind of feel like he ran away from a tough situation. I do. I feel that way. And part of me, it's like, you left. You weren't super thrilled about the NIL. Look what it's doing right now. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for what he did. I am. Shout out to Bobby Portis leading the Bucks to win an elimination game. Hey, there you go. Got some Razorbacks advancing. Oklahoma, the Thunder advancing as well, right? They're going to have to who do they have next? It's not the Nuggets. Oh, goodness. Coach Cal doesn't seem like the kind of guy to be happy resting on his well, there is that. Arkansas is going to lose the first round of the tournament, says Chris S., who's clearly a Kentucky fan. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Man, you guys are trying to cope. I know you are, or at least you should be trying to cope. I don't know. Yeah, Kentucky's. Let's compare rosters right now. Pope equals Palfrey. That is a very spot on. Yeah, it does. It feels like they hired. It feels like they just hired Pelfrey. It does. He seems like a nice guy. They all do. I don't know. Coach Cal got one more in him before he retires. Well, Hogfan OZ or Hogfan 40 OZ, 40 ounce. He's going to be here for more than a year though. At 40 years old, I'm not sure I have ever been this excited for an Arkansas hire, for sure. Not from the moment the announcement was made. Man, oh man. Exciting. What are y'all tagging me on Twitter about? What is happening? Why does Kentucky, this is from Unbiased on Twitter, and I know he's in our chat. Why does Kentucky fans want to tell us so much about Coach Cal in the chat? Don't y'all have a coach named Pope that you should be hoping about on BBN places? Did you mean hyping up? I know what you're saying though. Yeah, you're not wrong, Brim. I'm sorry, man. It's 11 o'clock. I'm probably butchering your tweet. I told my wife I probably won't be in bed until for sure after 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie to you. Reading chat right now is a pretty big challenge. Hall of Fame coach because he came to Kentucky. Let's not act like he was successful elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, dude, nobody is doubting that he was a great combination for Kentucky. All right, it worked out. Kentucky elevated him. He elevated Kentucky. He is a Hall of Fame coach, and he achieved great success at Kentucky. And he left on his own terms, and that drives you guys crazy. He left you for Arkansas, who you think is, little old Arkansas. It's a new era, baby. It's the portal, NIL. We got big money down here, and you hate that. You hate that. You guys lucked out with Walmart. Well, they're a Mizzou family anyways. Oh, that's funny. A lot of them were born here, graduated at the U of A. Jerry Jones, his son, U of A alum. J.B. Hunt, Tyson. Bro, we can keep going. We got money down here in NWA, baby, and that drives you crazy. Our trailer parks are nicer. Drives y'all crazy. It's a new era of college athletics, and it's driving you crazy. Now, look, I do think the same's going to happen with football. I do. I think they're going to run. I'm not going to say run Pittman off, but I do think a change will probably come as soon as this year, and I think they're going to get some folks. They're seeing what's going on with basketball, and I think they're going to want to try and counter that. I really do. How could you not? With the money up here, with the connections up here, it's just insane. I do. I think it's going to happen with football. I think you got to get behind a guy that you believe in. And I don't know how many of them believe in Sam Pittman. Let's just be real. But when they do get that guy, well, you see what's happening right now with Cal. You just hate that you're getting flexed on. That's the problem. You hate that you're getting flexed on by Arkansas, little old Arkansas. Oh, shit, they got big money down there. That's right. You're finding out the hard way. You're finding out the hard way, baby. Bring back the sunflower seeds. What? Oh my goodness. Nobody wants to go to Kentucky anymore, says Camo Gang. Now, I wouldn't go that far. They are still a blue blood program. Make no mistake about it. But it's a new era where teams that do have that kind of support, when they believe in the coach and they believe in the guy that can get it done. And I think Muss had options. I really do. I really think he was faced with a challenging season, and he ran. I mean, I'm just going to call it like I see it. I think he ran to a job. I mean, let's be real. USC is not Arkansas. It's just not. Arkansas is a better job, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that happening right now, right before our eyes. Now, he'll kill it at USC. I think he'll do great. I really do. In the portal, high school recruiting, he will. He'll do great. Yeah, Peanut is just asking to get timed out, bro. Now you're going a little too far. Do Kentucky fans really want to talk about their history? Maybe start with the guy whose name is on the arena. It says Philip White. Pat Bevis, 13 as well. Bobby had 29. Dang. They've dropped at least 3 notches. I do think this new era, I mean, it's just a different ball game. In the big money schools, the big money alumni schools, you know, it just is what it is. Bud Walton is a great venue for a women's game. How many people does Bud Walton hold? Oh, that's right. Peanut's never been to Bud Walton, that's for sure. Amen, Wes. Amen, baby. Fayetteville's the place to be, and it's killing people. It is killing people. I love it. God, I love it, man. I love it. Right now, what you're seeing from most, not all Kentucky fans, there are some class acts. There are some people who are like, hey, man, grats. Maybe not Matt Jones on Twitter. The wrong Matt Jones, that is. But there's some. right? And I think they'll acknowledge that Fayetteville is hopping right now. The energy is for real. It is electric. Trying to refresh this Johnell Davis stuff on 247, and he's still not on there. I don't know. Someone in chat said that they had seen that it was updated, and I'm not seeing it. And Rivals does not have a that I could see. They don't have a transfer ranking. Really quick, Arkansas got the dub tonight against Missouri State, 12-7. Boy, that midweek pitching. Pitching overall has been a little sus lately, other than your starting pitching. Pretty sure they get Molina back this weekend. That'll be good. That kind of messed things up last weekend. How about, of course, my boy Aloy, 4 RBIs tonight with that home run. He was walked. He struck out twice. 282 on the average. Stovall tonight, 326. Holt with 333. Man, you had 4 hogs batting 280 or higher. No. My bad. More than that. Hold on. Well, with guys with at least 3 at-bats, that seems to be the case. Pitching was a mess tonight. I don't know what the hell. Wood pitched 3 innings. He had 4 Ks. Arkansas did end up with 15 Ks tonight. They only gave up 5 hits, but 7 runs, 6 earned. Coyle had given up 2 earned runs, 3 runs total. Got a little messy there. Missouri State is they've always been a thorn in the side of Arkansas baseball. Always. Like they could be with 0 wins on the year, and I swear to God, they would find a way to at least make these games competitive against Arkansas. Arkansas did get 10 hits tonight. Struck out 11 times. That's, again, a little high when you consider you're playing Missouri State. You shouldn't be in double-digit strikeouts. But overall, they hit the ball pretty well. You like seeing, of course, the 12 runs, 10 hits, obviously 10 RBIs. But Aloy, my God, man, he was worth whatever they gave him out of the transfer portal. My God. That dude has just been him. They're going to play tomorrow night. What time is that game? 4 o'clock. That's right. This one's going to be pretty early, 4 p.m. I love it, baby. I love it. Hey, for everyone new, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, even to some of you Kentucky fans who are just being silly billies. Consider liking and sharing and subscribing. We've got Mississippi State people to come through, Ole Miss folks, LSU, the kind one, the good ones, the ones that they might rib you a little bit. Rupp is like Barnhill. Oh man. Matt Jones is another clown, says Bobby. There's Patreon if you guys want to join it. Go check it out, man. If you want a shot at winning this Alex Collins card autographed, you got to sign up like right now. This is the deadline tonight. I'm pretty sure. I guess it's at midnight. I don't know. I've been heartbroken all day over our football program, says Timmy's Galaxy. If it wasn't for Bobby Petrino, I don't think I could stand to watch a single game this year. Got a long ways to go for football, man. I mean, the portal if you're a player, if you're an athlete, the deadline is today. And they've got 6 scholarships left. I forgot to add that part on earlier. But, yeah, if you're a player, the deadline was today. They've added 3, unless I'm missing somebody, they added 3 players out of the portal. Yeah, and it's 6. I believe the number's still 6, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 5 or 6 scholarships available. So we'll see what they do. We've got a whole list. If you're a Patreon supporter, not only do you get an opportunity to win a card, an autographed card or some of the other cards, but you're also going to have access in our Discord to the portal breakdowns to all the kids in the portal for football. We got the portal player list. Going to have to add some more names to it. But, yeah, that list is updated near almost every day. Speaking of Discord, y'all are wild. You're right, Ty. I'm just emotional. I hear you, Timmy. It's easy to do. Richard Neal, what's going on, man? Speaking of a Mississippi State fan, Ty is going to pick up a lot of viewers next basketball season with all the sore Kentucky fans. Well, I've seen some people on Twitter say, I'm sorry, Kentucky, I'm following Cal to Arkansas. I have seen those people. You know, Kentucky fans won't claim them, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. If you're going to leave, if you're going to stop cheering on Arkansas to go watch Muss at USC, don't let the door hit you on the way out. But having saying that, yeah, you're not wrong. Going to pick up some more. The question is, are they going to add a kicker? They should to have an extra option. Yeah, we'll see what they do. We got a little ways to go. June, July will be a heavy high school month. You'll have a bunch of visits in June, then you'll have commits. Your 2025 high school commits will start happening. Lately, it's been later and later into the month of June. It used to be like the second week of June on, you just got bombarded with high school commits. Obviously, the portal has changed that a lot. So now you're starting to see them more at the tail end of June. June's going to be an exciting month because of all the high school information that we're going to be getting and all the visits and everything. But then late June to into July is going to be a heavy, should be, depending on their approach, right, to recruiting. It should be a pretty heavy commit month. Again, late June into July. You ought to get probably more than a few commits around that time, unless they've changed up their approach to high school recruiting, which could be the case. Oh, no. Kentucky's blue blood status is aged as well as Ashley Judd. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's brutal, Phillip. Oh, yikes. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Whew. All right. Well, that's that. Oh my goodness! You remember when she threatened to sue Hog fans like 4 or 5 years ago? How long ago was that? She wanted to sue Hog fans on Twitter or something. Do you guys remember that? That was wild. Y'all taking some. That's a little unnecessary, but not really. Pope was trash at BYU, says Wes Brown. All right, we're on that hour mark. Again, shout out to Patreon supporters. You guys help keep this thing afloat. Please consider joining Patreon. It goes a long ways to helping out. I don't have $1 million backer. I don't belong to any major recruiting site, and it's just me. It's just your boy Ty here holding it down. So if you want to throw a little support, consider joining Patreon. There's a $4 tier, an $8 tier, and then there's, of course, Legendary Status, which gets a little extra every month. You get an opportunity at an autographed card. I'm doing that for a while. I don't have any plan of ending that anytime soon, but if I do, obviously I'll let you guys know ahead of time. But please consider joining Patreon. I'm not able to do what I do without you guys. And along with their sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, Northwest Arkansas, Central Arkansas, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds of five-star reviews. They did my garage door, and I love it. They did a great job. Shout out to Travis and the boys. 501-244-3667. And, of course, Insurance Max, my boy Wes, he's in chat. Business, personal, life, and health insurance, he's got your back. That's Insurance Max. He covers from corner to corner of our beautiful state. He's got retirement plans as well. He's got everything for you. Why not give him a call? Pick up the phone. Maybe not tonight, obviously, but tomorrow. You've got questions? Tell him Ty sent you. Oh, Tuss Talk with Ty. He sent me. Again, that's business, personal, life, and health insurance at Insurance Max. Links are all provided down below. Unbiased Brim says we have Jordan Burke as a silent commit. I think they might have a couple, and I do think Burke might be one of them. I mean, look, we knew what was going to happen. We knew that today was likely going to happen. With their commit today, Jordan Burks would be a fantastic get. I think he'd be great. He is crystal balled. Last I looked, to Arkansas, 6'9", 190-pound forward. And yeah, he did enter the portal back on the 19th. So I could see that. I could see him bringing another one over with him. He wasn't super high recruited, wasn't a high big-time player out of Kentucky. He was top. He was a 261st overall player in the 2023 class? Was that right? 2023? Yeah. And he was a top 10 player out of the state of Arizona. He had a few offers. Kentucky, Ole Miss among them. But he enrolled at Kentucky June 29th, 2023. Yeah, I think they have probably a couple of silent commits for sure. I don't know. Peanut is right. I mean, y'all are. For anyone watching this after the fact, make sure you have live chat up on your screen right now because this is wild. Wes just said, "Shut up." Oh, y'all are wild, man. Wow. Unbiased makes great videos. He does, and Unbiased, I'm looking forward to another one, man. I'm looking forward to another. If you guys are Patreon supporters and you're not in Discord and you're not in our Test Talk with Ty Discord, you need to be in there. That's, again, where that's where the rest of that action's going down, man. We've got it's more than just rumors. We've also got our own, for football, we have breakdowns on each of the players in turn. Like, we've got their PFF grades, their stats, and some more extra information. Their recruiting, some of their recruiting information is below their names, and it's all just compiled on a page for you to go look at. And again, that includes portal players or portal targets, if you will, and portal commits. Those are two separate pages. If you're a Patreon supporter, it's on the top left-hand side of the Discord. So, yeah. Pope will be fired after year 2. I mean, you talk about big shoes to fill. Holy crap. All right. That is going to do it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Really looking forward to the rest of this week. I think it's going to be wild. I'm going to try to follow up as often as I can, assuming I'm available for all these commits. If not, we'll just do our typical, our usual routine, which is, random live shows throughout the week. My target's usually about 2 to 3 shows a week, and starting soon, we're going to start cutting up more content and placing that out there as well. So, all right. I appreciate you guys, including the butthurt Kentucky fans. I don't know. Stay salty, baby. That's all I got to say. It's a new time. It's a new era. It's a new era, baby. Let's go. Big one for Arkansas tonight. Big time get in Johnell Davis. Again, Arkansas also, we talked about the quarterback they grabbed and some of the other players they got out of the portal. That's all covered in this bad boy in this show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, oh well, you're probably a Kentucky fan. I'll see you guys